Before we begin, thank you very much to Rob S., RDS9674, for joining the Patreon campaign. Thank you very much for supporting. I have officially got one shout-out to go before we were all out of shout-outs. The streak has been going for about 7.5 months. So if it's the end of it, it's the end of it. I appreciate everyone who got it this far. It has been fun being nonsensical for all of you for the openings of these videos. Also, another quick little announcement. If you are watching this the day it goes up, please come to Gob the Goblin's channel. We are going to be doing a collab for 30XX, the Mega Man X style roguelike. So it's the first time we're actually going to be playing a non-DD game together on stream. I'm kind of excited for it. So I'll leave a link in the description. Come check us out if the day is correct. All right. So we're all waiting for PulseCon, and we're expecting huge announcements for the Transformers brand there. However, there is something that got out ahead of there. Now, this, I should mention, this is not a leak. This is not like a rumor source or anything weird like that. Screen Rant got an actual official press release of this. So this is the official announcement for Transformers United. Oh, wait. Not this one. This one. Transformers Legacy United. I'm still not crazy about how overdone this logo is, but hey, you know what? It's worked, right? It's worked. So, how can I argue it at this point? So this did come with a full press release explaining that yes, this is part of what is going to be revealed at PulseCon later this week. So of course these will probably be up for pre-order sometime on Friday. If you pre-order through Entertainment Earth with my link, I do appreciate it. It does help the channel out a lot while you get your toys. It makes everyone happy. I'll give you a little bit of the little blurb that came with this. So let's see. These new Transformer figures will debut at Hasbro PulseCon 2023 on Friday, September 22nd, 2023. Yada yada yada. United is the third chapter of Transformers Legacy, a subline of toys collecting characters from every version of Transformers that began in 2021 as a follow-up to the War for Cybertron trilogy, where most Transformers toy lines just get replaced upon completion. The second year of Legacy's life saw it continue as Legacy Evolution. It's weird they put that in the blurb because that's basically how Transformers has been running for over a decade now. We run in a 3-year cycle where everything is just kind of like a continuation of the previous toy line, and then we try something completely new. United represents the third year of the ongoing series celebrating the Transformers multiverse. See below for the newest Transformers. Yada 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 yada. It's nothing really informative, outside of announcing that both of these figures are expected for release in January. So with retail shipping weirdness and all this, maybe expected November, early December. I'm expecting people to have these in hand from actual stores, not stolen factory. Alright, so not a whole lot about exactly what the line's going to be, but we can kind of surmise from what we've got here. So let's get started. First off, packaging. It is a way more subdued packaging than we saw previously. Evolution has this really bright blue color scheme going with some really bright accents, some purple flashes. Here we're going very dark blue for most of the box, and the character is kind of framed by this fiery orange leaning into a magenta color. It's not bad. It's the same package style. They just changed the logo and the colors, so okay, fine. The big takeaway from seeing the packaging for the first time, no plastic window. So yeah, hope the Bumblebee isn't ball jointed on the neck. Oh my god, I don't know how this is still a thing. I mean, we heard that Hasbro is going to go back to bubble windows. Where are they? Well, I mean, I've seen so many. It's still going on. I've seen so many headless Spider-Verse toys at my local stores still, because this is apparently just still a thing people think is funny. It is not. It is vandalism. You're just a jerk. No, but I was championing Hasbro going back to plastic. It's not happening yet. And I was hoping it would be this. I was hoping it would be in this line, but I did think I previously suspected and was correct. Yeah, it's not going to happen right away. They're at least going to finish out this trilogy because this is how they planned for it to go. So just hope you find some head figures when you go shopping. Look at the vehicle mode. Now we have a close-up of the vehicle mode, finally. And yeah, like we speculated previously on the news roundup yesterday, it is pretty faithful to how animated Bumblebee looks, like, right down to like the gold headlights. Like, it's actually done a pretty good job of emulating that little squat, not a Volkswagen Beetle, closer to like a weird Mini Cooper looking toy. There are some weirdnesses to it. The big hinges on the sides is kind of ugly. But you know what? For the most part, it's not a bad job. It's certainly not a bad job replicating that vehicle mode. You know, it looks really, really nice. Now we get to the robot mode, which we've discussed previously, and we all kind of worried about. But seeing it officially transformed by people who know what they're doing with the toy, this is actually not bad at all. This is one reason why you don't trust leakers or the people who get those early figures and show them off for clout. Because generally they don't know how the toy works, so it's going to look weird and awkward. Bumblebee here with his shoulders correctly assembled actually looks way better. I'm actually really happy to see this. Also, we've seen from the leaked photos that yes, he can use his stingers the traditional way, but it's also kind of cool to see that now, as separate accessories, they can combine with his booster rockets. Oh my god, Evo Fusion lives on! Please let that die. Please let that die. It's the dumbest idea. It's the dumbest excuse for a gimmick. But no, Bumblebee looking way better than he did in most of the leaked photos. We kind of knew that, though. We've had a few days to get to know this Bumblebee toy. If we take a look, I've done the liberty of doing comparisons to his animation model and his original toy, and what strikes me so much is that they never were able to get the stripe correct because of where it has to go in his alt mode. It's always on the wrong side. It's always incomplete. They got them, you know, here, less here on the right side of the chest, down the opposite leg. It's just an amusing detail to me. The irony here is that there are a few details that actually match up better than the original toy. They actually did do more of the lines art around his head in this one. Well, maybe not so much around the eyes, but around the crest. So it does look closer to the animation model there. And a lot of the little details, like the black wash on the original toy was nice. Would have preferred that. Really would have preferred yellow thighs. But there are still details that neither toy gets. So I think, you know, it's not, you know, no one's really reached perfection yet. But I think seeing it side by side like this, yeah, like you can definitely see where they tried to get it a little more G1ified, a little bit boxier, because they're going to have to find some way of reusing the mold. If we don't get a Wasp out of this, then someone's not doing their job. I swear, like, that's just going to be such a huge missed opportunity if someone leaves it on the table. But point being, it looks good. Alright, so seeing it side by side with the animation model of the toy, I think really shows that, like, yes, you can definitely see some of the modern weirdness that is this toy, that is modern Transformers in it. But I think it still looks really nice. I think it looks a lot nicer than it did when we first saw it. The one argument we're now going to have over this toy is going to be size. I have seen a size comparison to the animated Prowl that came out in Evolution. He is short. Bumblebee is going to be another short stack of a deluxe. And we just have to get used to the fact that we're paying for the character now. We're paying for the toy to be somewhat scaled rather than the traditional way of expecting toys to be a certain price point for a certain size. I'm sorry, if I'm buying Fantastic Four Marvel Legends and the Invisible Woman is in the exact same price point as the Thing, that's just how that goes. That's just how that goes, and we just got to get used to that. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing so long as the toy is still representing the character well and is a good toy to play with. This one might actually shape out to be that. So, let's move on. We've talked about Bumblebee before, I'm looking at them at length now because we have official photos. Let's move on to the other one that they revealed, which is the first time we got to see it, animated Optimus Prime. Again, the packaging still looks nice, still very much very dark compared to what we've had in the most recent years, but it's still not bad. It's still not bad. The Voyager box looks good, about as good as the Deluxe did. Again, nothing like really going nuts as far as like redesigning, reinventing the wheel here. It's pretty much the same box that we've had for the last few years. What we're interested in is the toy, and look at the vehicle mode on this thing. Look at the vehicle mode on this thing. I saw someone in the comments from yesterday's video go, you know the animated Optimus Prime is just going to be a G1 Optimus with a light bar on top, right? Nope. 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 This is undoubtedly animated Optimus Prime. Yeah, he's got a lot more tech dribble than he used to. But you know what? There is no mistaking the shape of that vehicle mode. There is no mistaking that silhouette. This is just... this is animated Prime, done in a modern style. So, I am actually really surprised. I'm actually really surprised that it came out looking this nice. And this, well painted, too. Look, they got the black and the silver painted down the sides. It all looks correct. Like, I'm sure if I picked it out, like, there would be details missing. You get the point. The only weird addition is it looks like what becomes his feet is actually double hinged and becomes, almost like a it's not even a truck bed. I'm not sure what to call it. It's just like a tray that goes over the sides of his legs. You know what? If it helps like solidify the rear section of his vehicle mode, which a lot of Optimus Prime toys don't do these days, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. It looks good. It actually does look good. And then we get to the robot mode. And yeah, that is animated Optimus Prime done in a generation style. I mean, we saw how rough Bulkhead was when they started doing this in Legacy. Animated Prowl gave us hope that they were going in the right direction. This seems almost perfected. This really does feel like the intentional design behind making an animated character look far closer to a G1-esque modern toy. This feels spot on. It really does. He's like, you can see how articulated he is. He's got double jointed elbows, which is great. The ankle tilt, like really smooth transformation. Really smooth transformation. Like I really like how all of this seems to have come together. And I'm trying to figure out, like, there's some craziness to how this transformation works. I'm looking at, like, how much bulk to the back of the vehicle is on those arms. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. Like, this might actually turn out to be a really, really solid figure. The one complaint I saw some people have is they say they wish they had, like, the battle mask be able to move up and down, slide up and down like the original toy could. Number one, it didn't look good on the original toy. I'm gonna remind you this right now. It looked like when the faceplate was up, it looked great. When the faceplate looked down, it looked really ugly. And I'm gonna remind you of that here in a minute. I think it also required a whole bunch of engineering in order to get the head to move left and right and still have that plate go up and down. So I'm actually really happy that they just kind of forego that and we're just getting this. I can't imagine there isn't a faceplate version out there at some point as like a expected tooling, because they are going to have to repaint it at some point. You know, if they're going to get like a Toxitron out of this someday, then they've got to put the faceplate on there. So I'm expecting to see this toy again with the faceplate design, whether either a reissue of this in altered colors or probably as a different character. But no, it just looks really good, and I'm really happy that one of the points of contention on the original is like, well, they put noses. They put a nose on the characters. They didn't, someone's freaking out about that. No, everything looks fine here. Everything looks fine here. All right, so let's take a look here. I guess I shouldn't bring up the nose thing because that was a Prime thing, but it kind of counts for a lot of animated too. But you can see here, I really do like that they're including some more heavily detailed lining around some elements, like around Optimus Prime's nose and eyes. Like that heavy look is actually cartoon accurate. Actually kind of pushes him closer to what he looked like in the show, which is really cool. There you can see on the side, you can see on the right how the original toy looked. Yeah, see, that faceplate working is his chin. That is ugly. That is so ugly, and I do not want that back. So I'm glad we went in this direction a little bit. I am missing the yellow on the helmet because that's more of a distinct design element to him, but it's not necessary. I actually think I prefer the line art. I actually prefer the lining around the nose and the eyes because that does really strike as an animated style character. Midsection looks a little bit odd, but then again, the handle of the axe is in the way, so that might be a little bit better once we see a different pose during PulseCon. But no, like, it's actually really solid. It looks really, really good. I'm actually really excited for that. You know, and remember, no automorphing waist spinny thing. You can see that the legs go together a lot more cleanly than the original one did. Yeah, like this just absolutely looks like a really good take on animated Prime. I'm really happy with this. Alright, so they do seem to be focusing heavily on this. They showed off the actual artwork, kind of showing off these two characters popping through the portal, as it were, because that's the thing. It seems like they've come pretty late because apparently we're going through an apocalypse at the moment. Whatever. At least he got there. So this kind of leaves us to speculate what else we're going to see at PulseCon, because obviously if they're going to be rolling out Legacy United, I thought they were going to go with Universe, and they went with United. So instead of getting confused with an early American toy line, we're going to get confused with an old Japanese toy line. That's how that goes. But no, let's actually take a look. Let me remind you of what the leak lists have looked like in the most recent year or so. So here you can see the animated Optimus Prime is listed on there. And then, we have the capsule leader G2 Grimlock, which is already out. Beyond this, the earliest leaks said a Beast Wars Tigerhawk, a G1 Sandstorm, Voyager Cyber Starscream. The important distinction here is that when the leak listings had a Cyberverse character, it was CYB. This is CYBER Starscream, so we're fingers crossed it's Cybertron. And then Prime Thundertron, which is such a weird pull. So I'm expecting to see some of these as well. I really hope we see the Silverbolt. I would really love to see the Silverbolt. I don't think we're going to see more than one leader class toy. I expect Legacy to follow the example of previous toy lines and have one leader class from the previous toy line migrate over for the first wave, and then only have one brand new leader class. So if they're going to give us an entire first wave look, I would expect one leader, probably Tigerhawk if I was a betting man. I'm not, so don't trust me on that. But we also had this list too that included Bumblebee. So now I'm curious what else we got. So like these are the only listings we have for core class. I'm actually expecting to see all the core class. Everything else I'm not quite sure of, though I think for reasons I'm suspicious that we'll see Windblade. I'm not saying why I know that, but I feel like I know that. So this gives us something to look forward to. Not that we weren't looking forward to it, because it's going to be a ton of reveals and going to be some really cool stuff, but this is optimistic. This sounds like it's going to be really cool. So that is what we've got so far. Legacy United is officially a thing, and we can stop guessing about a few things now, and we can continue to speculate, which is the fun part. So thank you for watching. I hope you are now caught up on what we've got coming up for PulseCon. And yeah, just do like the rest of us. Sit back and wait, because the big reveals are on the way. So I will see you then.
I'm like, I think you guys got this. I will back away, and I will see you all later.
You've got this handled.
Alafi's like, really? You're not gonna help me? Like, it's fine now.
It's like these disgusting creatures breathing down my neck, and you're all just like, I believe in you. You got this.
That
All right,
burn.
you seem to have this. 5 minutes.